Hello world, this is Ina and we are here because this week I am doing a whole bunch of Facebook Lives just with really good content though, like questions that I want the answers to. Yesterday we got to talk to Chelsea Fournier and we talked all about what network marketing is. I knew about Mary Kay and Avon, but I never actually knew exactly like how it works. I didn't even know that was really like a viable option. So I thought since I've seen so many entrepreneurs start that way, I wanted to put that idea out there so that people knew that that was an option. So I hope that it was helpful. I loved talking to Chelsea. She's awesome. Today, we're gonna talk about Pinterest. So I don't know if you guys are really fully aware of this, but Pinterest is basically like Facebook ads for free times a million. And that's really like the angle that I wanted to play here. I'm going to bring in Rachel Ngom. Drum roll. She's connecting. There she is!
I think it worked. Oh my gosh. Hi.
Hi, Rachel. Rachel hails from France.
Dinner time, 6 o'clock here.
Thank you so much for coming. So I was just giving a really brief intro to the topic. So I want you guys to be fully aware of this. So Rachel is living in France. It's like her dream. She just moved there. You know, she had spent some time there. Obviously, it's not the first time she's been there. Yeah, she's just basically kicking it out of the park. And full disclaimer, Rachel is my coach. I found her through a post that she had made where she was enticing female entrepreneurs to come and check out her library of resources. And I was hooked. I immediately sent her an email and I said, okay, I need to know more. And we've been working together since I started my business 6 months ago, and it's been transformational. So first of all, thank you, Rachel, for everything.
You're the best. You are so much fun to work with. I tell everyone, I'm like, I love Ina. She's amazing.
So what I wanted to bring everybody to talk about was Pinterest. What I want to play off of here is that Rachel has basically made a business off of teaching people how to use Pinterest in a way that it pretty much rivals Facebook ads. And it's completely free. So before we dive into the topic, I want us to get to know Rachel a little bit. So I would love for Rachel, if you can introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your story, like how did you get here?
Yeah, sure. Well, hi, I'm Rachel. By the way, you should see how I hooked up my phone right now. I literally have a resistance band tied around the ring light. So we're taking messy action today. It's working though. I'm like, don't fall, don't move. But yeah, so I got my master's in social work. I've done a lot of background in international relief and working in nonprofit organizations. I lived in Kenya and Senegal. That's where I met my husband. And after I got my master's in social work, we moved to Florida, and I couldn't find a job, even with my master's from the #1 program. And that's where things got a little tight. I was working at the gym, cleaning equipment for minimum wage. I had a new baby and knew that was not going to fly. Like it was probably one of the hardest times of my life. And I was like, nope, I got to figure something out. I was actually a part of a network marketing company at the time. And I saw other people having success with that company. I was just like, well, if they're doing this, I can do it too. So I put my head down. I got to work. I built my Facebook fan page to 50,000 followers and my Instagram to over 20,000. And that was like, Facebook fan pages were huge at the time. And I had a huge following. And Facebook changed the algorithm. I built a 6-figure business with that, but Facebook changed the algorithm and I was like, I need to figure out something, because what I was doing before was not working and I wasn't about to go get a regular 9-to-5 job because I'm like entrepreneur through and through. So I just started blogging and putting my blog posts onto Pinterest. And I didn't really have a huge strategy. I was like, well, let's just create content consistently, I guess, like maybe a couple times a month and see what happens. And I noticed a whole bunch of people come into my blog. I was like, is Facebook working again? What's going on? And I checked my Google Analytics and I had 34,000 people coming to my blog every single month from Pinterest. And out of 36,000. So out of like 70,000 followers on these other platforms, those are only bringing in 2,000 people per month, but Pinterest was the rest. And I was just like mind blown. So my email list started growing like crazy on autopilot. I started making some sales and I was like, all right, I think I'm onto something. And so that's when I made the switch when everyone was like, Rachel, how the heck are you doing this? To coaching entrepreneurs and teaching them how to use Pinterest.
Yeah. So I want to dive in here because actually we have someone in our community, a couple people actually who are going through a very rough time right now. I just found out yesterday one person in our community is actually living in a homeless shelter, and I'm starting a conversation with her to see, what is it that she wants to do, and I know that you had really really hard times, so I would love to hear what you have to say to people like that who are watching right now.
Just know that there is something bigger and better for you out there. And now looking back, I can see that it really was all a part of God's plan, because if I had gotten a social work job, I would never be where I am right now. I wouldn't be able to touch as many lives as I am right now. I would probably be in a cubicle limited to what the organization was telling me what to do. Now I have the time freedom, the flexibility. We live in France. Like, there's so many cool things that came out of those struggles. And so just know that there's something bigger and better out there for you. It's hard to see it when you're in the moment, but just have faith that there is something out there.
And I'm going to stay on this topic because I know that, when you were going through hard times, I want you to explain to us the mindset that goes into doing something completely different. Because I know if I were going through rough times, I'm probably not thinking, oh, I'm going to be entrepreneurial. There's a lot of risk that goes into that. I'm probably thinking, I need to find a job right now. So I'd love to know your mindset, like what went into it, what was happening in your life at that moment.
It was both like, I need to find a job and I want to make this business work. And I was really torn between the two. So I was like looking for jobs, but I wasn't 100% in because my heart like wasn't in it. I was just like, these jobs suck. Yeah. Like, this is really not what I want to do. I don't want to be working in a cubicle. Like, oh, but then it was like, I see this freedom and this lifestyle that being an entrepreneur can offer. And I've always been like kind of entrepreneurial. Like, my dad's had his own business forever. He got it from his parents. They started their own company. I've had lemonade stands. I made origami to sell on the side of the road. TJ and I are going to do a lemonade stand in France this weekend. He's like so excited. But it was really I kind of had just like this blind faith and this belief in myself that, shoot, like I see these other people doing it, and I was so determined to make a better life that I was going to make it happen, like no matter what.
Yeah. So tell us, first of all, how you got into Pinterest. Because the biggest myth out there is that Pinterest is for organization tips, it's for recipes. Who's on Pinterest anyway? It's just like bored housewives. These are things I've actually heard people say. So I want to know, you were obviously, doing the Facebook thing too. So what made you, first of all, even start on Pinterest? Because like what you were doing was not recipes and organization techniques. So how were you like, okay, I'm just going to post it on Pinterest? And I heard you say that it just blew up for you. But change the mindset for people about Pinterest, please.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, what happened was I was really following a social media guru at the time, and it's actually her course that helped me learn Facebook and Instagram and everything. And she was doing a webinar on Pinterest, and I was like, okay, this could be interesting. So I joined the webinar, and it wasn't like a ton of these tricks or anything, but it kind of like, I was like, okay, Pinterest could be something. Like, it could be, but I didn't really understand it. And so it was literally just me pinning my blog post and hoping for the best. There was no strategy. Yeah. There was no strategy whatsoever. But I definitely have heard from everybody that I talked to, they're like, well, I don't think my business is on Pinterest. And I want people to know that any business can succeed on Pinterest if you have a heart to serve and you have content that you're providing on a consistent basis. Like, you can crush it on Pinterest for sure.
Right. So that's what I was telling people. I sent a message to my list to tell them about this conversation. And I told them to just try it. Like, to go on Pinterest and just like look something up. Something that you wouldn't think that would be on Pinterest, and see what you get.
Yeah. But the thing that people don't understand is that pins show up on Google too. And so you might not think your ideal person is on Pinterest. They are, but they're for sure on Google. And so if you go to Google Images and you search intermittent fasting for women or female entrepreneur quotes, or like some of the keywords that I use, like I have dominated that search on Pinterest and showing up at the very top and on Google, which is so cool.
So tell me about you getting 20,000 leads.
Yeah. So one of the big changes that I made was my blog used to be just general health and fitness, lifestyle, my network marketing company, like everything. It was the whole shebang. And what I did was I looked at my Google Analytics. I forget who told me to install it, but I did. And I'm really happy because I looked and I was like, what blog posts are getting the most traffic right now? Could I just niche down even further and just talk about this one topic? And so that's what I did. I saw my blog posts that were all about eating keto, high fat, low carb, and intermittent fasting were getting the most traffic. So I just changed my entire blog focus. And I said, I'm only going to be blogging about these topics. And so I changed my freebie to make it super related to that topic. So I offered a free keto grocery list and a free keto meal plan and then a free keto challenge. So when someone would come searching for something keto, they'd see a keto meal plan and they'd be like, well, heck yeah, I want that keto meal plan. And it blows my mind that I haven't touched that fitness blog since early January or December of last year. I'm still getting opt-ins and I'm still making sales from Pinterest. It's so crazy.
What would you say along the way? It's been a few years. What has been your biggest lesson, Pinterest or business wise? What has been your like aha moment?
Biggest aha moment? Just focus on your mindset. Mindset really is everything. Being an entrepreneur is really freaking hard. I mean, it's so rewarding, but really hard. And if you're not really careful about guarding your mind and really working on your mindset on a consistent basis, it can tear you down. So having like a regular mindset ritual, doing a morning routine, listening to personal development all the time. Like I literally have these in all the time. But that I think has been the biggest key to success is knowing that mindset is the battle.
And that's actually one thing that I've heard many people who have made it, many successful entrepreneurs say, and that is that they listen to these like meditation videos, that they're constant. Like meditation has been a big thing that once I got into this world, I didn't think I was going to be hearing so many people say something about meditation. It's never been my thing. It's never been something that I do. I'm like, I'm too busy for meditation. And then I hear everybody saying, yeah, but you kind of need it.
For sure. And then lesson number 2 would be hire a coach.
Hire a coach.
Hire a coach. Because I was literally just in my network marketing company and I was frustrated because it wasn't growing. They restructured the company, so my income was cut in half. And if you're not growing, you're dying. So I was like dying inside and I wanted to do something else, but I didn't know what and I didn't know how. And so I found a business coach and that changed everything dramatically.
Yeah. And actually that's one thing that I also tell people that I mean, when I started this business, right, which was, I've had a business for 6 years, but really within the last 6 months, I've pivoted to teaching, rather than doing. And, you were my first coach. You were my first exposure to even coaching. And I have to say, like, a lot of the things that we walk through together, it's like 50%. I already knew it. I already had the knowledge. 50% is like, whoa, mind blown. I actually didn't know that. And that's a really good tip. But guess what? It's not like you're just getting 50% of the value, because even though I had the knowledge, I wouldn't have just done it. I wouldn't have forced myself to do market research, even though I knew what market research was. I would have never forced myself to do it within a week to find out where my people were. There are so many things like getting into a copywriting group so that I can get my copy really straight. These are things I would have never just done on my own, even though I knew copy is important. I know how to make websites. Like I knew all this stuff, but having a coach it speeds it up by tenfold, right? It's not only about accountability. I can have, somebody just keep telling me to do stuff. It's really having a plan and a structure from someone who has been there. So I've experienced this firsthand, and I tell people like, I would not be where I am today. I would not be doing what I'm today. I would not be practicing, doing this challenge or having a webinar if I didn't have a coach who told me these are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to do them, the order you need to do them in, and you need to do them right now. So yes to coaching.
Yes.
And on that topic, I'd love to know who have been your influences. So when I started out, my first even exposure to this world was Amy Porterfield, right?
Okay.
And she mentions Mary Forleo a lot. So I've looked at a lot of her stuff, and a lot of the inspiration of my videos come from Marie's topics, Marie's energy. So, you know, these are people who like influence me directly in what I do every day. So I'd love to know who are the people that you follow that you're like they inspire you to get to where you got.
For sure. I am looking at my vision board, Tony Robbins. I made this yesterday. Oh my gosh, I'm like obsessed. Isn't it really pretty?
Nice.
But, yeah. So Tony Robbins for sure. So I've been to everything. His Unleash the Power Within, Day with Destiny. I worked with the Tony Robbins coach for a year, and I'm going to his Wealth Mastery in Amsterdam in like a month. Yeah, in a month. That'll be so much fun. Marie Forleo has been huge, and then Shalene Johnson. So I was literally just in Beachbody when Shalene was one of the fitness trainers, and she started teaching entrepreneurs like productivity and time management back in the day. So like 2011, 2012. And so I was following her in her journey. And then when she launched Marketing Impact Academy, I jumped on it. And so I've done that. I went through Marie Forleo's B School. Those are the people that I've learned a lot from. So I had so much knowledge. And then my coach is the one that helped me actually like monetize it. They're like, okay, you know a lot of stuff, Rachel. Now let's turn this into a business.
Yeah. So I really wanted to stress that, to point that out, because even though you may have all the knowledge, it's very hard to be an entrepreneur. Now try being an entrepreneur doing everything by yourself, trying to figure out all the strategies on your own. It's very, very hard. So having a coach, I vouch for it big time. So I had a question for you here. You are one of the people that have made me gone out and do market research. So I want to know, like, what has made you such a strong proponent for market research? I want to hammer that idea in.
Because it's the thing that really did change my business. Like, that's how I got started. I didn't know that Pinterest was going to be this huge thing until I started talking to people, and I was talking to entrepreneurs. Basically, I was like, who of my friends is an entrepreneur that I can talk to? Okay, you're my friend, let's talk. And so I literally got on the phone with them, like, what are you struggling with? They're struggling with getting new leads. What are you using for social media? They're using Facebook and Instagram. What's frustrating about that for you? Well, nobody sees my content. And then, have you ever thought of using Pinterest for your business? And this is what happens when you have a kid that just comes home. Say hi.
Hi, DJ.
That's really cool because you put your phone onto there.
I know, right? Okay, now you gotta go. Go. No. Go find Daddy. Go find Daddy.
No, he's downstairs.
All right, go get him.
All the way downstairs.
Really? Okay, then go hug Toby. Messy action in family life. You did? Okay, but you gotta go downstairs until mommy's done. Thanks, Boo. Okay, so doing the market research. Mommy brain now. That's where I was actually able to get my first clients, because I asked them, have you ever thought of using Pinterest for your business? And they're like, no. And then I was able to share my results, and they were like, teach me. Me, tell me what you've done and show me. And so that's literally how I booked my first clients. And then when I was coming up with the idea for my course, Pin with Purpose, I literally just went back to those people and I said, I know you said you were struggling to get new leads. I have a way that's going to help you do that for free. Let me show you. Do you want to be a part of my beta test? And that's where I was able to get the first couple of people into Pin with Purpose that literally hundreds of people have now been in. I literally just sold someone bought Pin with Purpose while we've been talking, which is pretty cool. But it all started with market research. Like, that's the foundation.
Give me a couple of tips to do market research and do it right.
Tips to do market research.
Yes.
Ask. So I actually ended up asking somebody who, like, I would consider my level here, and she was like here. Like, she was celebrity chef to somebody that I really looked up to, had a huge following, and I just asked her. And she said yes, and she was one of my first clients and bought my course. And so that really taught me, like, ask for what you want, because the worst that's going to happen is they say no, but you just never know who's going to say yes. And so literally just ask around, like, who do you know that would be a good fit for whatever it is that you want to market? Who would be a good ideal client? And then ask them, who do they know? And if you can, get on video with them, because that's when you can really dive deeper into questions of, like, okay, well, what are your struggles? Tell me more about that. What are your goals? Tell me more about that. And so it was literally when I was first starting one-to-one of doing those interviews, because I didn't have an audience in this business. It was everyone was following me for fitness. And so it was literally starting everything from scratch. And my mom was like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, you're starting over. I was like, yep, I know what I'm doing. Sometimes you have to let go of the good to go for the great. And so I jumped in, and now I can send a survey to my people. I don't necessarily have to get on one-on-one. So I emailed my list of survey, and I had 175 people fill it out. And that is like excellent market research of being able to go through that. But I couldn't do that in the beginning because I didn't have 175 people that I knew who was my ideal client. So it was literally private messaging people on Facebook. I remember I did a post on Facebook, and I was like, who here is an entrepreneur that owns their own business? Comment below with what product you sell so we can support you. And then I just private messaged everyone that commented.
Yep. That's pretty much where I'm at. I'm contacting because I really want to know. I want to know specifically the people in my group. I want to know about you. I want to know what you need. I want to know where you are in your path, because I want to make sure everything that I put out in my group is relevant. I want to make sure you guys are going to want to stick around because I'm giving you really useful stuff. So I'm actually in that process right now. I think it
doesn't stop though. So I'm still doing it. So I'm coming out with a blogging course in like a month and a half, end of August. We haven't totally decided yet, but I'm asking questions as I'm coming out with the course. Like, they help me pick the name of the course. I've showed them what's going to be in it. They've been telling me, okay, can you teach about this too? I'm like, sure. So they're like literally helping me create the course. So when I launch it, I already have people that are saying, I don't know how much it costs, but I'm already setting money aside so I can buy your course, Rachel. Like, that's kind of a cool position to be in, right?
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I want you to plug your course. I want you to tell us what you have going on and give people a call to action.
Well, I really want to help you with all things Pinterest. So you can sign up for my free Pinterest cheat sheet. Just go to pinwithrachel.com and you can grab that there, and then register for my Pinterest masterclass at freepinterestclass.com. That's pretty. Oh, and listen to the podcast, because I have a podcast every single week, the She's Making an Impact podcast. So you can check that out and subscribe. And that's pretty much it.
That's right. I'm episode 6 of the podcast. Listen to it. Rachel was in episode 2 of my YouTube series. So go check that out too. So yeah, cross-pollination going on. So Rachel, I can't thank you enough for coming on and teaching us all about this. Pinterest is huge. Just kind of what I want everybody to just walk out of here knowing is that market research is important, is that following people who are going to help you get to the next level, getting coaching, all of this is important, and that Pinterest cannot be understated how important it is, how much traffic it can get to your site. And here we have proof of somebody who is hugely successful with Pinterest. So Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
All right. I will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right. That was Rachel. Isn't she amazing? Like, she has been seriously instrumental to me getting to where I am. So before I let you go, the last thing that I wanted to do, and if you have been watching my episodes lately, you know what I'm about to say. I have a 5-day challenge coming up. Now, this 5-day challenge is basically for people who are thinking about starting their business, because I want to guide you through that process that Rachel and I basically went through together, is identifying your idea, right? If you already have one, great. Bring it, because I'm going to tell you all the factors that would make a great idea for you to make sure that this is the perfect path for you. All right. Number 2, we're going to be talking about your business model, right? How are you going to make money? I'm going to hammer that in. Like, what are the things in your business that you must have? What is it going to look like for you to make money with your idea? Then we're going to talk about where you think your target audience is, right? Like, define them really specifically. And then on day 4, I'm really going by days. On day 4, we're going to go out and talk to someone in that target audience. And just like Rachel described, we're going to get you your first client. And number 5, on day 5, I don't want you to miss day 5 because I'm going to tell you all the building blocks to make your website. Like that's my area of expertise, is how to make a website that sells, how to make it beautiful, and how to make it cheap. You guys, so many people overspend on their websites and get minimal functionality. They have to keep paying overages to get more functionality on their site, and it breaks my heart. I don't want you to have to go through that. So on day 5, I'm going to tell you how to do it cheaply, how to do it beautifully, and what are the things that have to be on your website. All right, so don't miss it. Go sign up at inacoveney.com/hero. I'm going to put the link on the description of this video. And yeah, that's basically all I had for you. Really sweet, right? On Friday, I have another live with Angela Govila. This is a powerhouse of a woman. You do not want to miss it. She has a group out there for product managers, and she's going to tell us all about how she used speaking gigs to get her message out there. You don't want to miss it. I mean, Angela, one of my dearest friends, and she's totally dynamic. It's going to be hilarious to just see us, the both of us talking to each other. All right, so that's Friday. All right, so yeah, sign up for the challenge and check out Rachel's stuff. It's been a pleasure as always. I will talk to you later. Goodbye, world. I will see you next time. Did you know this show comes out every weekday? Check out some more episodes and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another one on your commute.